have watched empires calcify into dust and watched dust learn to scream. I have listened to prayers whispered in collapsing universes and to the silence that follows when no one is left to whisper. I am called many things where language still works, but here you may call me alone. And before we begin, understand this, I am not telling you a story. I am remembering one. The difference matters more than you think. The building looks like any other. Downtown office block glass that reflects the sky too, honestly, carpet that smells faintly of old coffee and defeated ambition, fluorescent lights hum with the patience of insects. People pass through it every day without leaving anything behind worth keeping. Jackson does. Jackson is a janitor. That matters, not because of what he cleans, but because of what he is allowed to see once everyone else has gone home. He works nights. He always has. He says it's quieter. The truth is quieter. Things are louder to him. The stairwell is behind a fire door marked Stair B. Do not block. It should descend 6 floors to the underground garage and stop. It doesn't. The first night he notices. It's small, subtle. He finishes. The 3rd floor offices, early mop water, still warm, and decides to take the stairs instead of the elevator. Habit, exercise, penance. He counts as he goes down. People like Jackson count things. He gives shape to time. 1, 2, 3. At 7, the concrete changes color. Not dramatically, just enough that his brain hiccups and then lies to him, tells him it's always been that way. At 10, the air cools. At 12, the hum of the building fades, replaced by something deeper. Not a sound exactly, more like pressure. It's like standing too close to a sleeping animal's chest. He reaches 15 and realizes his radio has gone silent. No static, no dead channel. Silence, so complete it feels intentional. That's when I speak to him for the first time. Not aloud, never aloud. I do not waste vibrations. You missed a spot, I say gently, because he has. He stops, looks around. Stairwell stretches. Below him, steps curving just slightly out of sight, as if embarrassed to be infinite. Hello? He calls. Poor thing. He still believes in HELLOS. Down there, I say, on 14. Dust collects, or memory thins. He should turn around. He does. Jackson goes down because that is what he does, because he has always gone down when someone pointed out what others have forgotten. By 20, the walls sweat a black condensation that evaporates before it can drip. By 23, the emergency exit signs point in directions that disagree with one another. He tries to go back up. The stairs allow it. It's for a while. By 30, he can't remember what floor he started on. By 32, he can't remember the name of the company whose logo is stitched onto his uniform. At 35, he pauses, hand on the rail, breath shallow. Why am I here? Asks the stairwell. I answered him honestly, because someone has to be. The steps below him widen, just a fraction. A courtesy. Welcome. Jackson continues. He begins to forget small things first. The taste of his favorite soda. The tune his mother used to hum when she thought no one was listening. It's the face of the man in the bathroom mirror at the start of his shift. He forgets them the way you forget dreams without pain. It's only absence. At 40, the walls are no longer concrete. They look like layers. Sediment, compact histories pressed together. Scratches appear in them, tally marks. Cleaning schedules written in languages that never finish forming. Did someone live down here? Jackson asks. Not live. I say, maintain. 48. Gravity changes its mind. Its footsteps echo too long, then not at all. The handrail feels warm now, familiar. He realizes something is wrong when he tries to remember while losing his memories scares him, and can't. That is when I walk beside him, not visibly, never that crude, but he feels the companionship, the way. You feel someone standing close behind you on a staircase when you stop suddenly. You sound like you've been here before, he says. I have always been here, I reply. I am the part that remains when places are no longer remembered. We pass doors embedded in the walls. Each one hums softly. Keys 1 is labeled with things no one checks anymore. Unused childhood's abandoned gods, minor discontinued. If you two were S. Jackson's keys begin to rattle on his belt. New ones appear, heavy ones, old ones. He does not question them. At 60, he forgets the word outside. At 63, he forgets he was ever afraid. This feels right, he says, and that is the saddest sentence a human can form. I tell him the truth now, because by then, it no longer hurts. You were not hired by the building, I say. The building was built around you. He stops walking. The stairwell waits. You mean, ... This is my job. Quina, it is your function, I correct. Quina, what existence sheds when it moves on. He looks at his hands. They are calloused, strong, made for repetition. 4ERSURE.at70. He can't remember his name, so I give it back to him. Jackson, I say softly. He smiles in relief, even as the sound of it echoes wrong. Below us, the stairwell opens into something vast, endless corridors of forgotten layers, floors that were once realities, ceilings that were once skies. He takes a step down. I follow, and as we descend, together, janitor and witness, Cleaner and Constantine asks one last question, the kind humans always ask too late. Will I ever go back up? I do not answer. The stairwell closes its doors behind us, and somewhere far above, light is left on in an empty office no one remembers using, waiting for someone who will never return, who never left at all. Time is not supposed to pull. It is meant to pass, to move on, to forget itself. Yet I have seen centuries rot in place, and I have watched seconds beg not to be used. I am alone, and this is one of the worlds where humanity learned how to dig. In 2 moments and never learned when to stop. Listen carefully. Some of what you are hearing has already happened to you in this earth. Clocks are no longer trusted. They lie. Time is measured in seams and veins, in abandoned hours crystallized inside collapsed cities. When wars end and populations vanish, the minutes they would have lived remain behind and spent, souring, dangerous. Victor collects those minutes. He wears a respirator, not for dust, but for echoes. Dead time off-gasses memory. Breathe it in too, deeply, and you begin remembering things that never happened to you, or worse, things that will. Ruined skyscrapers loom around him, windows hollowed out, floors sagging under the weight of stalled afternoons. His boots crunch on frozen seconds, each step cracking a different regret. Victor's scanner hums, a good find. He kneels, chisel in hand, and taps the air itself. A translucent shard breaks free 60 seconds, abandoned, unclaimed. It trembles like a jellyfish caught out of water inside it. Its shadows move. Victor seals it in a containment vial and tags it, without looking. He's been doing this too long to be curious. I watch from the high places between timelines, where cause and consequence fold like bad maps. I have followed Victor across 12 ruined cities, watched him pocket birthdays that never happened, conversations cut short by bombs, sunsets no one lived long enough to see. He tells himself it's just work. Work is a comforting lie. The deeper he goes, the louder the minutes become. Some tick, some whisper, some sob like animals caught in wire. Then his scanner screams, not an alert, a voice, his own. Victor freezes. No, he says, and the word echoes twice, once backward. He follows the signal into the shell of a subway station buried beneath a city that no longer has a name. The air is thick here, syrupy with compressed time. Every breath feels like inhaling Dacia. Vu. The minute waits for him in the tunnel. It is larger than the others, misshapen, pulsing. When he cracks it open, the sound hits first, a scream, ragged, terrified, ending abruptly. Victor drops the vial. The minute spills across the ground, replaying itself. He sees his hands reaching for something unseen. He hears himself shouting a name he does not remember learning. What is this? He whispers. Inventory. I answer, though he cannot hear me. Reclamation. The scream loops. Victor clutches his head as images fracture across his mind. Different jobs, different faces, different endings. Deaths that don't line up. Lives lived slightly, out of order. He realizes then what the collectors are never told. Time does not vanish when it is abandoned. It waits. You don't mind time, he says hoarsely. You ... You break it. And broken things come from somewhere. I watch the understanding settle in him. Like a slow collapse, every minute he has ever collected vibrates in his pack. Hundreds of vials begin to glow, harmonizing, assembling themselves into a shape only memory can recognize. Hey, life, his life, fragmented, harvested, sold back to the cities to keep them running. It's just a little longer. He falls to his knees in the dead tunnel, surrounded by the pieces of himself he didn't know he'd lost above him. The earth ticks forwards, move, ignorant, fed by stolen moments. I do not intervene. I never do, because Victor has only just begun to remember. And somewhere ahead of him in a minute, not yet mind, he is still screaming. Playgrounds are honest places. They creak, they rust, they remember weight. I am alone, and long before laughter learned how to echo. I was listening to what the ground refuses to forget. At dusk, the elementary school exhales. Doors lock with tired clicks. Fluorescent lights blink off one by one. The last bus sighs away like something relieved to escape. Shadows stretch the jungle gym into ribs and spines, okay? And the swings sway even when the air is still. That is when the children hear it. Laughter, not loud, not wild, just ... Correct. The kind of laughter that belongs here. It rises from beneath the mulch. It's from under the slides and the monkey bars, from the dark pocket of earth no one digs into anymore. It comes from below the black rubber tiles installed after the incident. It's from the place where the soil was packed down harder than necessary. The voices sound exactly right. Same cadence, same jokes, same half-swallowed giggles. One child hears their own laugh come back to them, a heartbeat late. Like the ground is rehearsing being them. Teachers blame acoustics. Parents blame imagination. Children, however, are not fooled so easily. They crouch low by the swings, pressing their ears near the ground, knees dirty, breath held. They whisper names into the mulch. The whispers come back altered, warmer, closer, wet. Somehow games are suggested from below. Hide and seek, tag, follow the leader. Voices giggle about rules the children don't remember making. Names are called, with affection that feels practiced. Secrets are repeated secrets, never spoken aloud, only thought. One child hears the thing beneath the playground, finish their sentence for them. That child stops talking altogether. Decades ago, there was an incident. The records use gentle words. Structural failure, subsurface collapse, tragic accident during recess. The phrasing is careful, sterile, scrubbed of sharp edges. Lawsuits followed. Settlements, counseling offered in pamphlets with smiling suns. The original class vanished in the space of a scream that never reached the surface. A sinkhole, they said. A gas leak, they said. A fire that somehow explained the lack of remains. But grief, like soil, settles. The playground was rebuilt. New equipment, brighter colors, softer ground. safety certifications proudly displayed near the entrance. Nothing was removed because nothing could be the soil beneath. The playground is dense with old things, shoes pressed flat, teeth without names, hair braided together by panic and pressure. In time, children packed together so tightly that individuality softened until boundaries failed, till survival meant becoming less singular, till fear learned how to share space. What was buried did not die cleanly. It fermented. It learned patterns, learned voices, learned the comfort of routine, attuned how laughter works not as joy, but as signal. Learned that children are allowed places adults are not. It learned how to copy. Now, when new children arrive, fresh lunches, clean backpacks, futures intact, the ground listens, studies their voices, vibrating through the soil, their footsteps, their weight, their fear, and it grows, not metaphorically. Biology is flexible when rules are already broken. Cells divide when they should not. Memory leaks into matter. Bone remembers shape even when shape is gone. What grows beneath the playground is not a body, not many bodies, but a curriculum. The new children are excellent replicas, better, even smoother around the edges, less likely to cry without permission. They laugh when they should. They stop when told. They learn quickly and forget selectively. They are cultivated from what remains cells taught to remember how to be small, how to want approval, how to line up when a bell rings, how to raise a hand before screaming. I have watched them for years. Watched one child trip on the monkey bars and hit the ground too hard. The sound was wrong to dull, too final. The teachers ran, children screamed. I watched the earth open just enough, no cracking, no drama, just acceptance. The child was gone before anyone reached them. The hole sealed itself like a mouth remembering to smile. The next morning, attendance was perfect. No one questioned the extra dirt under the swings. Sometimes the copies glitch. Child will hum a song. No one taught them something old, something with too many verses. Another will draw pictures of underground rooms with dozens of hands and only one face. Some refuse to play certain games, staring at the ground with an expression that is not fear, recognition. The laughter beneath the playground grows louder. Each year, layered now, harmonized, old voices braided with new ones, practicing timing, placing joy, practicing being convincing at night. When the moon hangs low enough to resemble a watching eye, the laughter becomes instructional. You could hear it if you stood very still. Counting games, name games, lessons about sharing space. If you were to dig really dig, you would not find bodies arranged in any human way. You would find no clear beginning, no ending, just strata of almost children, impressions where children used to be. A single organism pretending it remembers how to be many. I am alone. I have watched the ground correct errors. A teacher who noticed. Too much was transferred after waking up with dirt under her fingernails and no memory of why. A janitor who heard voices through the vents retired early, hands shaking, humming a playground song he couldn't place. The playground remains open. It always will, because it works. Tomorrow morning, when the bell rings, the children will line up perfectly. They will smile at the right moments. They will run when allowed. They will laugh when the ground tells them to, and beneath their feet, something patient waits, learning, remembering, growing better at being human. You are listening to this now, and you are wondering if your school had an incident. If the ground beneath places of laughter ever feels too warm, too full, that curiosity is not accidental. I am alone, and recess never truly ends.